Yo, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Russ back again with some more Madden 19 Ultimate Team. You guys can see it. I did say I wanted to go ahead and upgrade our O-line for real, and you can tell I'm going in, man. We got Steve Hutchinson, who we actually had. I regret actually downgrading my O-line earlier. I really do. I downgraded it. Jesus, I cannot speak. I downgraded it to upgrade our defense, which worked. I mean, our defense is pretty solid, but now we're upgrading our offense again and kind of making it even with our defense, and I end up having to get players that I already had. I already had Kelsey and I already had Hutch, but Larry Allen is brand new. He cost me, I think, 136. So I ended up getting kind of a decent deal on the auction block. It was like 20K less than the others, so I think I got a good deal. I didn't end up looking at Mutthead for that one because that one just seemed like too good a deal. But Hutch was like 120, I think, so not too bad. I ended up spending, all in all, about 260K around there. Not too bad, not horrible for 290 plus overalls, and plus, I'm getting to the point where I want to upgrade a lot of players with training anyway, so I'm not really too worried about spending coins on a couple of players that down the line we can upgrade even more, because Hutch does have another gauntlet card. But anyway, getting past it, man, I'm trying to upgrade our O-line, that's the bottom line. Getting into these games, we do have 2 games in this episode, man, and they are both pretty good. This first guy I end up playing, he has the classic Ricky Williams, of course. I think he has Jared Goff at QB. Or no, not Jared Goff. Patrick Mahomes, which is definitely a nice change of pace from Vic. Like I said, you always play Vic. I mean, that's the guy you always play, for good reason. I kind of forgot. Well, I mean, a couple people have mentioned it, but I forgot that there was a glitch that gave people Vic for free. I thought that Vic was just really easy to get, but I kind of forgot about that glitch that gave you Vic for 20K. But this guy has Mahomes, and he's dotting it down the field, man. Ends up finding Tyreek Hill in the end zone, ran PA crossers. I just didn't read it. And I should have manned up Gilmore. If I manned up Gilmore and Tyreek Hill, that would have been easy. He would have ran right into it and had no read whatsoever. But unfortunately, we ended up giving up the touchdown, so we got to answer. And this dude had no answer for Todd Gurley. I mean, this card's unbelievable. I've said it a million times. I won't say it anymore. You guys know how good this damn card is. I mean, you see how well he plays for me. I don't know if it was the upgraded O-line or something, but, I usually run inside. That's why I did want to upgrade the guards. And we just ran all over this dude, man. We hit the out route. I've been hitting out routes a lot more. These guys don't want to cover them. I don't know what it is. They just man up and then set a couple blitzes and leave the out routes open. So I'm trying to abuse those more and more. I'm getting just, free first downs every once in a while. And here we go again. Todd Gurley just breaking through. His burst is so insane. We have 5 rushes for 50 yards on this first drive, man. Cut it outside on, I believe that was a stretch. I'm not sure if that was a stretch or a dive or something I just cut out. 6 for 58, 2nd and 2. We run it with Franco Harris, and we do get stood up, but we get 2 yards, and we actually end up getting the first down. I didn't think we got it, but we did. 1st and goal, we end up running with who else but Todd Gurley, and we do get in to tie this game at 7. Couple really good drives to start this game, man. I mean, both of us scored very differently. So, I mean, we are tied, but we both did it basically completely opposite. I mean, he went down the field in like 4 plays and passed it every single down. I don't think he may have ran once or twice, but he didn't do it that much. Predominantly passing. I passed 1 time and ran 7 times or whatever, like 9 plays for 76, whatever it said. Right here, Jamal Adams, that dude hits, man. 95 hit power with my, I think it's, crap, what is my chemistry? I don't even remember anymore, but it gives +3 hit power. And that 95 hit on Jamal Adams just makes him knock the ball out, I mean, 90% of the time. If he gets a clean hit stick on somebody, the ball is coming out. But anyway, man, this guy does have a Todd Gurley of his own. I'm pretty sure that was the team of the year. I'm not sure if that was in his top 3 players. I don't know. It may have been. I'm not sure how good this guy's team was, but it seemed really solid. The guy seemed like he was pretty good. I mean, he started off very, very good. I mean, this drive, he's basically ran it down my throat, or tried to run it down my throat until I forced him to throw on 2nd and goal. Just throw it at me, man. Why the fuck not? And he literally threw that right at me. I mean, that was a direct right to the chest of Bobby Wagner. That was just fed. I mean, that was way too easy, man. But he ends up blowing that drive. That's a huge drive stop right there, man. Wait, let me try that again. That was a huge stop on that drive. I said that backwards. Considering that he went right down the field passing and scored on the very first drive, and then we end up getting a pick at the goal line after we had just ran the ball down the field, and now we're passing, man. 2 for 3 for 26. We have not had to throw that much. Obviously the first drive was all running. Right here I go across the field, which was kind of dangerous considering I ran a comeback right on top of that route when I threw it really late to Doug. I kind of take note of that. I do it later, and kind of bites me in the ass. But 4 for 5 for 55 yards, 2nd and 3. Trying to find Franco Harris. Unfortunately, we can't really playmaker him anywhere, so we have to throw it out of bounds. 33 seconds left. Run a play action to Todd Gurley. I'm looking for George Fant, and we do find him, and that is a first down inside the 10-yard line. And after that, this dude decided he had enough. I guess he was just done. After we got that stop, we ended up just dotting him down the field, man. We really just started throwing the ball, and it was pretty easy. 1 reception for 17 yards for Fant, and that makes this dude rage quit. Obviously Fant, he's a beast. You know, you got to watch out for him. I mean, he is the best player in MUT history. So, I mean, he will force rage quits. He's got that stick-em, and a 17-yard reception will just strike the fear of God into your opponent. But anyway, okay, enough joking. This game was a little bit tougher, man. This guy, you know, he had some offense, or he had some players that scared me on offense, is what I should say. His offense was kind of, I don't know, it wasn't anything I hadn't seen before. A lot of the same plays that, you know, people have kept running on me continuously, that you guys have seen. But just mainly after the play stuff he was killing me on early is right here, 24 yards, basically 10 seconds after he'd rolled out. Just no pressure whatsoever. But right there, just throw it at me, man. Why the fuck not? Not two-time, because this is a second game, but we do have 2 user picks in this episode, and both of them have been directly to me. The guy, I mean, he kind of telegraphed what he was doing. He ran that angle route with his running back. I could tell he was keying on it, and I just stayed with the running back, and he threw it right at me. I mean, what else do I say? And we started off this drive just running the ball with Gurley. 2 rushes for 27 yards to start, and, you know, it's just a trend at this point. That's what I want to do. I want to run the ball right here. We cut back in on 1st and goal. Should have trucked. Unfortunately, I don't, and I don't get any extra yards when Deion Sanders ends up tackling me. That's annoying. A one-on-one tackle with or a one-on-one situation, Deion Sanders and Todd Gurley, and we don't end up breaking the tackle. But we end up fumbling with Otto Graham, unfortunately, inside the 10-yard line, which hurts. It really does, considering that Otto Graham, you would think he'd be able to take one hit, you know, just with that 90 trucking and that 86 carry. I don't know who that was. I think it may have been Lawrence Taylor. So I know it's Lawrence Taylor, but goddamn, dude. I mean, come on. One hit. That's all I'm asking. I mean, shit. I don't even think that 86 carry even matters on a quarterback. But anyway, this guy does end up dotting me on his very first play for like 49 yards or more than that. I don't even know how much it was. So, you know, even having him on the 1 made no difference whatsoever. 3rd and 8, though, he does chuck it up to the end zone. I don't end up clicking on. If I would have clicked on, I probably would have had a pick. But honestly, I'm just scared to click on sometimes. With some of the animations you get when you try to click on and pick the ball, I just wasn't even dealing with it. But 4th and 8, we do end up getting a sack with Joey Bosa, who for some reason, again, plays better when he's a 90 than when he's a 93. I don't get it. Right here, Otto Graham. We don't run with him all that much, you know, considering that we try to run mostly with Gurley, and we really just use Otto to pass, and we usually run quick passes, but he ends up getting 11-yard rush right there. 5 rushes for 21 yards, so not as not as effective of a game for Todd Gurley. So, you know, we have to throw a little bit more, but this is our first pass of the game, actually, and it's for 8 yards. But we do end up passing a little bit more than we usually do in this game. This dude he was doing really well stopping the run, man, I got to say. Franco Harris, we're starting to run him more out of that, like, tight end spot, and he ends up making a reception. And then holding by Jason. I forgot to fucking turn the aggressive blocking. Oh, my God. I did it again. That's like my 3rd or 4th game in a row getting an aggressive or getting a holding penalty because I forgot to turn that shit off after the goal line right here. I tried to make an insane throw. If that would have been on the money, Otto Graham's like a god. That was completely across my body. That was ugly. But 3rd and 20, we end up getting sacked out of field goal range. Now, I was really fucking pissed because that was the one thing I was trying to do was not get sacked out of field goal range. Right here, he sends the same blitz he sent like 14 times on a fucking row at this point, and I end up converting on just a super long in route. I don't even know what to say about that. He ended up just sending blitz after blitz after blitz at a nickel, and for some reason it was working, and I was just trying to get an out route or in route, just get enough time to throw it, and somehow Otto Graham threw it off his back foot, and Doug Baldwin ends up getting a 30-yard gain on 4th and 29. We end up punching it in with Todd Gurley. I don't know. I mean, good defense by this dude. You know, for real. He just started sending blitzes. He was like, you know what? Screw it. Let's just hope for a sack, and if I don't get a sack, whatever. He gets a field goal. But I end up getting a touchdown. So, I mean, of course I will take that. You know, it looked like for sure I was going to take a field goal, you know, guaranteed. I was at the 31, but then I took that sack, and I was just in no man's land. You know, it was basically if I punted it, I was trying to get him at the 1, and I'm not great at punting as he's inside the 5 just like that. But, you know, anyway, let's just go ahead and move on, man. We're up 7-0. That's the bottom line. This guy does end up getting to the 3-yard line. Tries to run with McNabb. There was nobody on that side, so my linebacker just played him immediately. I think that was Shazier. 2nd and goal, rolls out to his right. Really nothing there again. I don't know why my end stopped. I think I ended up putting him in contain for some reason, and he just stopped, and he ends up getting him to the 1-yard line. Ends up getting to the 1-yard line with Donovan McNabb. 3rd and goal, we're just chasing them down. He ends up getting sacked. I don't know what the hell he's doing. But at the 15-yard line, only down 7-0, he decides to go for it. And he backs up like 30 yards into the fucking pocket. I don't know what he's doing. And passes, throws a completion 10 yards short of the end zone. I don't even know what to say about that, man. 4th and goal from the 15. You throw a completion to the 10. You don't even get it to the end zone. The guy had plenty of time. I don't know. I guess he just wasn't content. And again, I turned the aggressive blocking on the goal line previously when we got in the end zone, and again, it gets me. But I don't know, man. I ended up trying to run a kneel, and the guy actually called a timeout. I didn't put that play in, but the guy called a timeout. It really bugs me when people do that. I mean, it doesn't make any difference. We ended up just running another play because, you know, if I run a kneel and he calls a timeout, chances are if I were to run another play, he would have called his last timeout. Or if I would have ran another kneel, he would have called his last timeout. So I ended up just running the ball with Gurley, but that's annoying, man. A 2nd and 19, we do end up hitting the out route. Again, I think I said it earlier in this episode that I'm just trying to hit out routes more. And again, I'm just abusing them right now, man. That's what I started doing. This guy ran the same defense every single time, just started hitting these blitzes. He was not adjusting. Right there, he gets a crazy animation, but I don't know. I guess my possession catch animation ends up helping that one. Finally, he ends up covering it, and this is my mistake. Earlier, if I end up sending Tyreek Hill on a streak, which is what I should have done all game long, that fucking route with Doug would have been open every single time. Instead, I tried to throw the comeback, or I tried to throw it to Doug, and the comeback ends up getting in the way. He gets the pick. It doesn't matter, though. Just throw it at my man. Why the fuck not? We end up getting the user pick with Sean Taylor on the very next play. So it makes no difference, man. But as I was saying, this guy, you know, he obviously was set in his ways, was a little bit upset with me at the end of the first half calling timeouts. So, you know, coming out, I was just trying to dot the fuck out of him. And that's what I end up doing, man. You know, after I threw that pick, that was it. You know, I knew exactly what I was going to do. We just kept running the same blitz over and over and over and over again. I just ended up sending Tyreek Hill on a streak, and it just freed up everything. I ended up dotting him, I think, 3 or 4 times in a row. I mean, we were dotting him completely from the start of the half with the out routes and everything. The guy was not changing. It was easy money with Otto Graham, but we end up throwing that stupid pick. We get it back. We do end up scoring with Todd Gurley. That does make it 2 scores, and we're finally starting to bury this, man. Now, I will say, you know, this guy was not bad. He wasn't horrible. His strengths, or the way that he played, kind of played into the way my defense plays well. He liked to roll out a lot, and usually that's the players that I like to play, the guys that just like to roll out and really like to extend the play, because usually when somebody's sitting in the pocket, that means they're trying to set up a post or set up something like that, and sometimes my D-line doesn't get there. This guy, he just kept rolling out, really playing into the strength of my defense and my D-line, which is pretty much speed, as Joey Bosa just keeps chasing him down. He ends up chucking it up, and it is picked off by Stephon Gilmore. That card has not made a lot of picks on my team, but he shuts down that right side of the field, man. That 95 Stephon Gilmore. If you guys are looking for a good corner in man, he's beastly in zone. I mean, I can't really say much about zone. You know, zones are kind of erratic, but he plays really good. We do end up getting the rage quit. The connection to your peers has been lost. We get that classic message. I guess he just tombstoned his Xbox, in the words of Addy Cards. But yeah, man, that's going to do it for this episode. Those were weekend league games. I think it's kind of self-evident, because I think weekend league games are the only games that are non-playoff games that are night that you can play head-to-head. But yeah, these past couple episodes have been weekend league, just trying to get some wins, trying to get some coins. Especially after our upgrades, we're pretty low on the coins, so trying to get those up. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Be sure to look out for the next one, and as always, I'm out. Peace.